Hey guys, it's me, John again. Johnny, psycho on the internet. Crazy guy, misunderstood philanthropist, social awareness terrorist, and all these other good things, I guess, that you could call me. Um, I'm doing this video right now for a couple reasons. First off, I contributed 30 bucks last night to a young woman's campaign. Her name is Emmett Art. She is a philanthropic person. She's doing a lot of good works for the artistic community, not only for minorities, but just everybody in general. If you're an artist of color or otherwise, I suggest highly donating to her campaign, helping her out, helping fund her, and I will continue to make contributions to her throughout my career and whatever I can do to bring awareness to her movement, as it were. Um, as far as the war goes and the social movement against Sarah Dees and the artists trying to make a living creating art group, things have been going very, very well. The case has been basically, I think, sealed up by this point as to who is involved and who is not involved and who wants to, contribute to our side and their side and yada, yada, yada. Um, I have recently removed several videos from my YouTube channel simply because I feel like, for one artist, John, I feel like he legitimately felt like his life and his family's life was threatened. Um, and I've tried to reaffirm that before that that's not the case. But now I will go ahead and just take it even further and say, that's not the case. And I did a little good faith things this morning to try to prove to people that, yet again, I'm not in this for any kind of popularity recognition or any personal gain. This is not about me. This is not about John. This is not about anybody else other than Sarah. Dees being held accountable for years of abuse and manipulation and various things through the arts. I know I come off as a very overt person. That's because I like to be overt and in your face. My works in the future, continue with video productions, comedy, all that stuff is going to be a lot worse than this. So if the general public, can't handle it, then that's their thing. And this has been a good proving thing for me for the future of my works because I'm going to say a lot of things unfiltered, raw, and uncensored to fight for the overall goal through those works of the lack or the over censorship of arts in America, media, movies, everything else. And lately, the war has become very weird and very dark very fast. Um, it basically has turned into shadow accounts, private messaging me, who are trying to goad me into saying foolish things. And one of them is a woman. She knows who she is. I'm not going to mention you by name because I get the distinct feeling that you want attention off of this, and you have some manipulative game you're trying to play. I've made Sandeep aware of her presence, and I tried to get more information, but at this moment in time, nothing's come forward. We'll see what she becomes over time. And there's another person who has provided things to me. So they will go unnamed and unseen. And this is a message to them. Your anonymity is guaranteed with me and you will never be mentioned. I promise you. Um, it's becoming more and more clear to me that when I first started this was honestly just me ranting about misdeeds inside the group, and then quickly it transformed into this social movement. I adapt quickly to things. Um, and when the certain actions that they did against me with blacklisting me and putting me out in the community as this and that and the other, when that happened, this more or less just carried forward. I had said in a previous video about John, what he was doing was not more or less deterring me, but it was emboldening me. And that's what everything that any of the people who've tried to come at me for this have done. They haven't deterred anything, they've only made me stronger. That's what you don't understand about a person like me and people like me is we feed off of resistance. We feed off of what you're doing, the fight you put up. And everything that, once again, everything that you have been allowed to see has, been purposefully and intentionally put there for you to see. You will never know the scope of it until it's too late because I'm not stupid. Granted, I may be crazy, but I'm not fucking stupid. And I knew this going into it. I knew that, there's a huge network. Like, you really don't understand. People really don't understand why this is so important. Well, this is a massive network of shadow accounts, deception, manipulation, everything that could have cost people their lives. Now, whether anybody knows of those incidences or events, I don't know. I know that me personally, when I was on the edge of suicide, I felt like people were saying things at a certain time to push me over because they were either gaining entertainment out of it or they wanted me to kill myself. Because I was labeled as that dangerous of a person. Because bearing in mind, until I came up on the radar, I was a nobody. And then when I did one thing that was part of this social movement called, Sandeep, and he, his whole movement and everything like that, I thought it was just a, kind of a jokey, fun thing for the group to do. Well, apparently it was a very serious, cultivated business plan by somebody, and I did the Sandeep hand turkey, and yeah, next thing you know, I'm just thrown in the middle of this shit. And fortunately for me, if I didn't do that at that time, I would not have been aware of half of the shit going on. Like, I would have never known about the people involved. Celia, Brendan, Julio, all those people probably would have never came up on my radar. Sarah wouldn't have specifically targeted me later on, years later, and such. She remembered who I was and all that stuff, and I still do not believe at all that the woman didn't know who I was when it happened. Now, as of yet, I'm undecided as to whether I'm going to make the female who's contacted me recently, whether I'm going to make her email or her messages exposed, because at this time I am trying to earn a trust with her and show her that I can be trusted, and to find out how far that goes. Now, at any point in time, don't get me wrong, I could drop the hammer on that account and have Facebook, investigate everything about her. And that is basically what it is. And I know that you guys are going to think, well, he's just some paranoid, schizophrenic, crazy person who's... No, it's not paranoia, because there's things happening behind the scenes that you never see. Like shadow accounts contacting me to try to goad me into saying something sexually abusive to this woman so they could use it as screenshots against me in a court of law or something else. That's how fucked up this shit gets. On that note, too, I know Celia has requested not to be involved, but yet continuously put herself in the situation, even well after the fact of me trying to have a civil conversation with her. That's public record. You can look it up on my timeline, and I may reference some of these things in conjunction with the videos to show you the series of events that led to why I did what I did, to provide more clarity and everything like that. But Celia has claimed she has made a police report against me, or whoever's made a police report. I implore everybody around her now to simply ask, where's the police report? Show me photographic evidence of a police report. Any of it. Screenshots, any of it. Show me where the location is that she put down. Now, another thing, I've since hidden the comments from the other person, this female person, on my timeline. And I've hidden the comments from a friend of mine who was involved in that. simply for safety's sake at this point, because after reading the comments of the female, I became very worried for the personal safety of a friend. Because this person in a roundabout way said, I know where you live, and when I visit my grandmother, I may come by to visit you. Implying that the person's going to come to where my friend lives and try to harm them physically. I mean, it was clear as day to me. Other people are like, well, you're just imagining shit. No, I know a veiled threat when I see it. So that's how serious this has gotten. This is like, once again, I keep trying to tell people, you don't understand how long this has been happening. You don't understand how huge and how big of a group this has been influencing the arts. And that is the whole reason of the mission. The mission is not about me. The mission is not about us. The mission is about the future of arts and what's going on right now inside that group to destroy art. I stand by that statement. I'll prove it till the day I die. Whatever happens, happens. You know, I mean, it's okay. But at this point, I am 100% legitimately serious that there might be people who are associated with me in physical harm's way. At least that is what's being implied, and thank God, because that's providing evidence in the case to have this thing dismantled and investigated. Now, once again, I've said this time and time again. When the hammer drops, anybody connected to this person, anybody in the know, anybody in DMs with her all the time, working these angles, working this manipulation, you're going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed by not me, but the people who run this entire fucking virtual reality that we all migrate to. Once again, social media is a constant and prevalent thing in a lot of Americans, a lot of people's lives in general, worldwide now. Facebook is a thing. It is a virtual reality now. It has become so fucking prevalent, so big, so addicting to people that it's insane. And to have groups like this spring up of 170,000 members that you could bend to your will, to put my I mean, literally, the woman put my video up and said to all of her followers, block this man. He's a danger. He's threatening my life. A personal friend shared messages with her where she showed me screenshots. This was, you know, basically she showed me the screenshots of where this person literally tried to convince her I was trying to murder her. And that was off of the first video. You can look it up on my YouTube. If you want to criticize that, roll over it, whatever you want to do, feel free. If there is any threat inside that video that you can honestly see requires police involvement, please let me know. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just not listening to it right. And God knows, whenever I post videos, I usually go over them a couple of times, like watch them through. Because it helps me understand myself better when I can see myself through the lens of the camera. That's why I like shooting videos, because it's like a very introspective thing. You see yourself in a whole new angle. You become comfortable with things like, you know, personal flaws, physical flaws, all that stuff. I highly recommend it to anyone who has issues with self-confidence, issues with speaking in public. It's a great way to use the camera to actually provide you a therapy to speak to. Ever since doing videos, especially in this frequency of fucking doing them every other fucking day, it seems, I've gotten a lot faster, better, and more knowledgeable of my craft. But not only that, of myself. This morning, too, I tried to make peace with John because, once again, I felt like, you know, and I did the responsible thing, I feel, because being a leader, to me, means you lead by actions, not words. So if I expect something from people in my future, if I expect something from the regimes or the government or personal friends or anything, I don't expect anything from anyone that I can't do myself. And if I can't be accountable, responsible, adult, mature, and reasonable about things, then their case is proven that I'm a psychopath and I'm crazy and I'm just another crazy guy on the internet, which is what they want you to believe, because the crazy people are just crazy. We're just that, right? Like, if I'm just crazy, then I have no legitimate points and everything I say is insane. I mean, it's a very clever tactic, but sadly that has to come with the weight of evidence. And unfortunately for them, the only evidence they ever had was me providing it for them. Um, they banned my account during Christmas. They reported my posts, tried to get it banned for 24 hours. I could not communicate with my family through this account or friends. They locked it down for 24 hours. But unfortunately for them, the ban was lifted. Because I appealed the decision and Facebook decided to uphold my rights as a citizen or whatever to do that. In subsequent things, I've also started to report the Artist Trying to Make a Living Creating Art group. I screenshotted when I reported it for future investigations in a court system if need be. And it's showing when I made Facebook aware of the problem. The screenshots show the exact date, time, and everything, time-stamped, of when I reported these incidences to Facebook. Now, if they follow up with me, that's one thing. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. I just did it last night. But, you know, and this is frustrating for me too, because I feel like from this day forward, I don't need to tell you why I'm doing it anymore, because if you're too ignorant, blind, and or ridiculous to not go see the evidence and see the progress of this, which is all on my YouTube channel. You can see that, by the way. You can follow the chain of events, because that's exactly what it was. The war, what is it good for meme playlist is, you know, just basically a fucking journal of how this whole thing has degraded. And I haven't went back and watched all the videos yet because I've been very busy with work, planning the future, getting art concepts lined up in my head. See, I don't have to draw to do art. Like, art happens primarily here first before you even get to drawing and doing. I got several comic books I'm working on that I got to create concepts for, all that good stuff. And yes, this is taking a lot of my fucking time and energy. This really is. But I am that passionate about having accountability for this woman and stopping it. That is how passionate I am about it. And if you doubt for a second now that this was anything more than what I said it was from the beginning, a long-term social awareness campaign to bring not only reform to Facebook, but reform to social media platforms everywhere, then I think at this point it should be proven that I am dedicated to this 100%, no matter the personal cost, no matter whatever. I mean, hell, at this point, I've basically lost the love of my life over this shit. The woman I was hoping to marry and make my wife for the rest of my life, she's gone because of this now, maybe. So, trust me, there's damages on my side. It's just that I don't exploit them. I don't exploit them to gain pity from you or understanding. You either hear my message or you don't. But that's the point, is that the war was lost for them long ago because the message, the questions, the accountability, all that shit is public record, and all that shit is just going to get worse for them. I will not disappear. I will not die. Any of those who were hoping that I'm just going to luckily, fortunately blow my brains out one day or hang myself, that ain't going to happen, bro. I'm not suicidal anymore. I'm not that disturbed anymore. So, I don't know where this is going to go, but I think the tide has turned extremely well in our favor. And it's amazing what just a couple of videos and, you know, just a couple of little things here and there have done to this house of cards. And it's tumbling around them right now, and they know it. And people are running scared because they think their empire's over, and it is. The evil empire is over. It's done for. You can bank on that shit. It's fucking done. And those who did it, those who profiteered off the pain and the suffering of others, you're going to pay. Just that simple. And you should pay. You should pay for what you've done to others. And that's just that simple. How many things in this society do we see where people don't pay? I mentioned Philando Castile the other day. Remember him? The cop walked. As far as I'm aware, the cop fucking walked. Killed that man. Walked away. And these are the people who watch your democracy. These are the people who guard your families. These are the people. When are you going to be Philando Castile in that car getting killed in front of your children? And can you guarantee that you're going to be safe because you're white anymore? Can you guarantee you're going to be safe because that person behind that gun knows you? Is that going to matter in the instance, in the moments when you're gunned down? Anyways, though, that's a further point for further videos and the breadth of my work and the width of my work and, everything. I'm going to do a lot more, trust me. I'm not done yet, and this is only the beginning of everything for Tengu Press. So, you guys have a great day. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. Much love and kisses for Daddy. I've been holding this for God knows how long now. I really want to fucking smoke it, but I'm running my fat mouth as usual. So, I love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.